So then, moving on to the Bachmann range. This is a little underwhelming personally, but as there's only been one new tooling, I think it is, and everything else is just re-liveries and things like that. But there's still some good little additions to their range, and some nice new liveries that can be picked up from the 2019 range. So let's take a look. So let's begin with some of the steam locomotives. We've got London Transport pannier tank L94, which is currently at, I think, the South Devon Railway. It's a fantastic livery. Again, unfortunately for my wallet, I might have to have a look at one of these at under £100. They are very nice locos. And finally, for the steam locos, I really am only interested in these. In OO, finally for the steam locos, we've got the SECR Class C Wainwright loco. There's one of these currently preserved at the Bluebell, number 65, so this might, again, be of interest to me. That's a welcome return to the range for many people. Now let's go on to the diesel locos. All of these, as far as I'm aware, can be purchased with sound fitted out of the factory. They all come in around the £200 mark, so that's quite a lot, but they are sound fitted. You can obviously get them without sound, no chips at all, so that's... We'll begin with the Go Anywhere all-purpose Class 37. They've still got quite a few of these running around on the main line, especially the short set in Anglia on the Wherry lines. I'm thinking of going up to Norwich to do that at some point. Check out my other channel, Jezza M, for all my days out videos. The first livery that's being released on the Class 37 is the large logo. Obviously, there are loads of large logo 37s out there on the market. This is 37012 Loch Rannoch. We've also got the Colas rail freight with 37521. One that's really caught my eye is the West Coast Railway Company 37669. Now, I also want the Class 47 in West Coast, so I may amass a little rail tour fleet. This would go very nicely with any steam locos, top and tailing, or double heading for rail tours that you might want on your layout. So that's a very good addition for anyone. For Heritage Railways as well, they also have West Coast locos visiting. So yeah, there's no excuse not to have one really. Another Go Anywhere loco that was in service for a very long period of time, the Class 47. Now, Bachmann are bringing out some of these in Rail Freight Grey, BR Green, BR Blue and BR Large logo. So you've got a whole range of liveries to choose from there for if you want some Class 47s. Next we've got the daddy of them all, the Deltic loco, Class 55, is extremely well known. I don't think there's a single person that doesn't know about the Deltic. They have an extremely iconic locomotive, and they're being re-released, reliveried in BR Blue 55003, named Meld. And we've also got the King's Own Scottish Borderer in BR Green, that's D9010. They're pretty fantastic locos in real life. I've been behind one before. They've got so much pulling power, and I assume these models have too. So yeah, I'll probably be picking one of them up at some point, and it's a very nice loco, the Deltic. Something a bit more modern is GWR's Class 57, 57602, named Restore Mall Castle. Again, all of these you can get sound fitted out of the factory. So modern image modelers with sound and their layout, these are all perfect for you. And this 57 is no exception. It's one of the Night Riviera locomotives. But they are seen around Lara, what was Old Oak Common, all the depots around the GWR network. You can find them. Now, Bachmann are yet another company to be releasing the 66s. So Hattons have got their lot. Hornby have got their lot that I told you about earlier, although they are slightly less detailed. Bachmann are doing a limited range, but again, I think they are all the Bachmann ones are exactly the same as some of the Hornby ones. So we've got the Genesee and Wyoming 66413, named Lest We Forget. The GBRF Biffa 66783, Flying Dustman. And finally the extremely well known now GBRF large logo, British Rail 1948 to 1997, 66789. So that you've got all three of these are also in the Hattons range and the Hornby range. But a unique feature with the Bachmann models is that you can get them sound fitted from the factory. So anyone wanting sound, I would probably head for the Bachmann. Some of the Bachmann ones. They've already had Evening Star out in a couple of years ago. The range might have even been last year. But the 66s, any modern image modeller who has freight on their layout is rubbing their hands with glee this year because of all the 66s being released. So moving on from the diesel locos, we've got some diesel multiple units, which have been announced recently by Bachmann. The first one is the BR Green Derby Lightweight, which again is a return to the range. Very nice 2-coach DMU. Might have to pick that up at some point. We've also got another 2-coach, this time in BR Blue, which is a weathered, very nice Class 105. Obviously, like a later DMU, as this is in the BR Blue. And finally, we've got the BR Blue Grey, Class 108. All of these are lovely little models. I've got a BR Green Class 101 that I run really often. It's fantastic, brilliant runner, brilliant model, and I'm sure all of these are the same. Now, onto some more modern DMUs. We've got Class 158s and 159s being retooled for this year. They've got 2-car versions in East Midlands, GWR and Regional Railways liveries that you can get, again, sound fitted if you wish, out of the factory, and also a 3-car 159 in Network South East livery. Now, again, this is possible to get sound fitted out of the factory, but that will set you back over £350. Now, I don't know what you think, but £350 for a train, I know it's sound fitted and it's a 3-coach DMU, but £350 is an awful lot of money. So I do think Bachmann are pushing it a bit there. But this next train is even more. We're going on to the EMUs now, and we'll start with the Class 411 4SEP unit. They've got a BR Blue Grey one, numbered 7106, and a BR Green, numbered 7122. They're both weathered, and they look like fantastic models. I've got to say, 4-coach EMU for anyone modelling Southern England, DC, in the DC Electrics in the 70s, 60s, 70s. I assume these were around. But that will cost you over £380. That's nearly £400 for a train. Now, I understand they're 4 coaches, but my London Midland Class 350 was £100. And again, that was 4 coaches. So I really do think Bachmann are a little bit too ambitious with their pricing. That's £380 on Hattons, bearing in mind, so the RRP is likely to be higher than that. Really an awful lot of money. I will never be able to get any of these, I don't think. It's just too much. Some rather nice multiple units. Again, as I've said, they are all rather underwhelming, as they're all just re-liveries. Where they really stand out, however, I think, is the coaches. They've got some really rather nice coaches coming out this year. We'll start with the Royal Mail ones. We've got a post office sorting Mark 1 in the Royal Mail letters livery. So that looks fantastic. But again, Bachmann, £50 for a coach is a lot of money. And we've also got the general utility van in Royal Mail letters livery. So a couple of those in a set would look lovely. More for me, however, are the West Coast coaches. I've noticed that this year everyone seems to be thinking a lot more about the entire set. So Bachmann have brought out their West Coast Class 37, 669, and also they've brought out what I've been waiting for a rather long time. I've been thinking about re-stickering some BR Maroon coaches, but I won't have to do that now. They've finally brought out some West Coast Mark 1s and 2s. They've got a couple of Tourist Standard Opens and a couple of breaks, and that just makes a fantastic addition to any modern image, heritage line, anywhere where a rail tour could go, really. So that is a brilliant bonus there from Bachmann. And also, to go, I think would go rather nicely with the Hornby Network Rail coach releases. We've got a Mark 1 brake gangway generator van, which again looks fantastic. It's £40, still really rather expensive. Can't really compete with Hornby's 30, but there are some things where you've just got to splash the cash, and I think I might have to do that with some of the Network Rail coaches that I can imagine a set behind a Colas Class 37 or DRS Class 37, or behind most locos actually. 66 would probably look okay too. The two Hornby Mark 2s and the Bachmann Mark 1 together I may have to get. Now we've also got some wagons. I don't usually look at wagons, but I think Bachmann have a couple of things that are worth remarking on. They've got what seems to be a slightly different nuclear flask wagon. Now I've got one, and again, I may want a couple in a set, so that would be quite nice to get one of them and have two nuclear flask wagons to go behind a couple of DRS locos. And also we've got a retooled HKA hopper in National Power and DB liveries. So this was, as far as I'm aware, this is specifically built to go behind a Class 59, but behind most modern locos, 66 especially, they'd look lovely. Again, not for me. They're too large for my layout. It's not the kind of thing that I want. But it's a very, very nice addition for anyone with the Class 59, really. So to round it up, we'll just have a very quick look at some of the 009 releases this year. Now, I am thinking possibly, this is very up in the air at the moment, but I would love a little 009 gauge addition to my layout somewhere, and it is definitely growing more and more appealing, especially with a couple of these Bachmann releases. We've got the Baldwin tanks in West Highland Line Maroon, that's number 590, and Southern Railway Green, named Sid. number 763. From what I've heard, this never actually existed in real life, but I agree. I think this looks like a absolutely fantastic loco. Even if it didn't exist, it's worth making because it's such a lovely loco. By the looks of it, we've got a load of wagons, but what I'm most interested in is the small diesel shunter that they're bringing out. It's for the more modern image 009 modeler, if you kind of see what I mean. I know 009 gauge represents kind of 2 foot-ish, which is normally steam, but it's interesting to see that they've decided to go for a 1980s locomotive in 009, and that is very appealing to me. So Eek 009 may be the next thing for my layout. Who knows? So apologies to all you N-gaugers out there. I haven't spoken about any of the Graham Farris stuff because, to be perfectly honest, N-gauge isn't for me. I'm very much 00 modeler, so I haven't had a look through the Graham Farris catalogue. I'm sure it's just as interesting as the Bachmann one. But that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.